During my training in the military school, we moved around in platoons of 15 to 25 cadets. Whether we were going for PT, sports, parade, swimming, meals, we had a strict rule here. If a cadet missed the movement with his platoon, then he'll need to find someone who also missed his platoon and move in a squad of at least 2 and up to 4. It doesn't matter which company we belong to. If we want to eat that day, then we have to find a buddy or suffer some punishment. A lot of jobs across sectors and around the world are also done in pairs. You look at the commercial airlines, there's a captain and a first officer. The sniper in the movies we see has a spotter. The cops patrol in pairs. The bus drivers in India have a conductor. Look at marriage. It's the same thing. Marriage is just two people coming together for life and celebrating each other's successes and helping each other get through their failures. It's a proven formula because there are several advantages to working in pairs. Here are five I can list on my fingertips. Number one, boredom. Working in pairs takes care of boredom because you have someone to chat with. Number two, friendly monitoring and course correction. If you're making a mistake, the partner can point that out without coming across as bossy. Number three, mentoring. In the motorcycle world, there's an old quote: if you want to ride like Rossi, you don't go to Rossi, you go to Rossi's trainer. So your partner need not be the best at his job, but if he's a good coach, then he can make you better than himself. Number four, dealing with stress, be it personal or professional stress. Knowing that you're not alone makes it a lot easier to deal with it. Number five, decision validation. When you have a tough choice to make, a second opinion can help you look beyond your biases without drowning you in a thousand ideas. Before I proceed with explaining how you can use the buddy system to build better teams, I have a favor to ask. Most of you will watch this video and move on. Some of you will maybe hit the like button. For all such viewers, I hope you find this information valuable. But I want you to give the buddy system a thought. After you're done watching this video, I want you to tell me one thing, just one thing, that's stopping you from implementing this at your workplace. It should not take more than a couple of minutes. I need you to tell me if you see a flaw in this process. Do you see a reason why this may not work? Feedback is best served blunt, so please keep it honest. Now let's move on to the process and your action items. We need to start small with building teams of just two. Let me explain. Designers among us will recognize this. It's the most basic form of color wheel for making combinations. And you don't normally pair red color with orange or blue with purple. For the most beautiful outcomes, the natural choices are the exact opposite of each other that contrast each other. We want the same thing. You can pair buddies based on roles, like pairing an engineer with a quality control guy whose job is to find faults with what the engineer did, or based on performance, like extraordinary performers with underperformers. Based on experience, pair a fresher with the most experienced guy in your team, so the fresher can also get a no filter access to their buddy's knowledge and accelerate their own growth. The next step is assigning responsibilities and setting ground rules. We need the buddies to get comfortable with the workplace. Then we need them to get familiar with each other both personally and professionally. And finally, we tie them up. Let's start with getting them comfortable. Any question the new employee has, the buddy will either answer them or find the answers. न्यू एम्प्लॉय के पास कुछ भी सवाल हो, टॉयलेट्स कहाँ हैं, पानी कहाँ भरते हैं, ये अपना वीपी इतना गुस्से में क्यों रहता है, ऑफिस की टूटी हुई खिड़की कब ठीक होगी, कुछ भी, the buddy will answer them or use his discretion to find the suitable source to answer the question. When one of them wants to step out for lunch or snacks, his buddy will accompany him. So the two rules here are: accompany your buddy for lunch and snacks and answer or get the answers to your buddy's questions. Now let's give them a chance to get familiar. We need buddies to really get to know each other, but we can't force them to get personal. Asking buddies to spend time with each other will get them to let their guard down eventually and get comfortable sharing personal life details. If I want to bitch about the below par raise I got, my buddy should be the first one to help me vent it out. The idea is to get buddies to trust each other so much that if an employee's love life is not going so well, if they're going through some family problems, financial trouble, or anything, their buddy should be the first one to know that. People share their success stories all the time, but they only open up about their low points in life with those they trust. For this to work, we will have to assure them that their buddy won't change in the foreseeable future because no one wants to share their life details with a new person every month. The action item, the rule here, is to assure the employees that their buddy won't change for 1 to 2 appraisal cycles. Now on a professional level, we need to tie their growth. For this, again, I have three cardinal rules. One employee can never be rewarded. One employee can never be penalized. And one employee can never have a problem. Let me explain this one at a time. आपकी क्लास में एक संतोष है और अविनाश है. संतोष 100 में से 40 मार्क लाता है और अविनाश 100 में से 90. अविनाश को 90 से 92 पे जाने के लिए डेली 1 घंटा एक्स्ट्रा पढ़ाई करने की ज़रूरत है. अगर वो ये 1 घंटे का एफर्ट संतोष को पढ़ाने में लगाए तो संतोष का स्कोर 40 से 50 पे पहुंच जाएगा. That extra 1 hour of daily effort is only going to give Avinash 2.2% growth from where he's standing right now. But that same effort will bring a world of difference in Santosh's performance with 25% growth. The performance reviews of the buddies should consider the combined output of both the buddies. If you are in the top 1 percentile but your buddy is in the bottom 1 percentile, then your combined contribution is only average. We can't have an employee of the month or the best performer of the year award. With such R&R programs, we are promoting a selfish work culture. So, one employee can never be rewarded. Just like rewards, the employees will also share the punishment for their buddy's mistakes. If my buddy loses his laptop charger, then we are both equally liable for the penalty when our employer recovers that 2000 rupee loss. After this loss, I'll make sure he's more careful with the office property. The guilt of having me pay for his mistake will probably have him pay me back multifold by chipping in a few extra hours when I ask. The rule here is one employee can never be penalized. Let's say I'm not satisfied with my job responsibilities and I want to take on a bigger task. I'm not sure if my boss is ready to hand it out to me, but I want to find out. Before approaching my boss, I shared this with my buddy and he agreed with me. Now, there are two people who think that I'm ready for the bigger role and we can ask for it together. Let's say my buddy did not agree with me, but he informed me where I am falling short. So we discussed, and after a lot of negotiations, we made a plan to address those shortcomings. If I meet these expectations, then my buddy is comfortable putting his reputation on the line and vouching for me. This time when I approach my boss, I still have my buddy's recommendation and I'm also better prepared. So I also have better chances of walking away with what I wanted. There is no bad outcome here, it's a win-win. In this case, I made my problem his problem. So the rule here is one employee can never have a problem. Tying the fortunes of two seemingly random people together sounds crazy, but this is how you assess the performance of all leaders. So why not give future leaders a head start? Give everyone a taste of responsibility in small doses where everyone gets to manage a person. Now, before you leave, please don't forget to let me know the drawbacks you see in the buddy system. Let's make work lives challenging, rewarding, and memorable.